The notification arrived while my father was carving the meat. Not a vibration, a clean surgical chime. Polite, almost apologetic. I didn't move. My face stayed arranged in the shape they liked. Quiet sun, obedient spine, eyes lowered like folded hands. The dining table was loud with plates, laughter, cheap nostalgia. My mother was describing a memory that never happened. My uncle was refilling glasses like forgiveness could be poured. The phone screen glowed against my thigh. I already knew what it said. Still, I looked. Balance, no drama in the numbers. No exclamation point, just absence. A hollow where my future had been. My pulse didn't spike. That would have been mercy. Instead, something colder uncoiled behind my ribs. Slow, precise. Like a blade being chosen. Not swung. Across from me, my father chewed carefully. He always chewed carefully. As if the world might accuse him of hunger. Our eyes met. For half a second, his didn't blink. That was when the room tilted. Not violently. Not enough for anyone else to notice. Just enough for me to understand I had never been standing on solid ground. I slid the phone back into my pocket. I let them keep laughing. The house smelled like roasted meat and old lies. The same walls that had once taught me what safety was, now watched me like witnesses paid to forget. My mother asked if I was okay. I said yes. The word felt like counterfeit money in my mouth. Later, in the hallway, I asked him. No accusation, no tremor, just a sentence. He didn't pretend. Didn't apologize. Didn't even lower his voice. We needed it more. He said it the way men say the weather is bad, unchangeable, inconvenient. Not his fault. Something thin and hot tried to crawl up my throat. I swallowed it back down. Behind him, framed family photos stared through me, smiling strangers wearing our faces. Years rearranged themselves in my head. Conversations, sudden kindness. The way my mother counted money twice. The way my father never once asked about my savings, but always about my plans. My life had been a joint account. I had just been the last to know. He patted my shoulder, a gesture practiced on furniture. You're young, he said. You'll make more. Make more, as if trust were a currency that regenerated. I nodded. Of course I did. Inside, something sealed itself shut. Not broken, not angry, closed. A door that only opens outward. I walked back toward the dining room, my bag heavy on my shoulder, my hands steady, my face calm enough to be mistaken for forgiveness. Behind me, laughter rose again. They thought the story was over. It had only just learned my name. I didn't confront them. That's what they would have expected. Noise, tears, a sun collapsing into predictable shapes. Instead, I waited. I smiled at birthdays. I answered messages in full sentences. I let my mother hug me like her arms weren't receipts. At night, I rebuilt the crime. Transaction logs, old access permissions, a forgotten power of attorney signed when I was 19, and still thought blood meant shelter. My father had moved the money in pieces, small enough to feel invisible, smart enough to look accidental. I requested the bank's internal audit, quietly. Then I ordered something else. A DNA test. Not because I doubted her. Because I doubted him. Patterns form when you stop defending them. The results arrived on the same morning as the audit report. 2 envelopes. White. Identical. One said he stole my future. The other said he was never part of it. I drove to the house while the reunion leftovers were still rotting in the fridge. They were in the living room. My mother folding laundry. My father reading like he hadn't already memorized how to lie. I placed both envelopes on the table. No speech. No anger. Just paper. My father opened the audit first. His mouth softened. Not in guilt, in calculation. Then the DNA report, that one emptied him. He sat down slowly like gravity had finally learned his name. My mother didn't understand yet. She read the words out loud. Probability, 0%. Silence became a physical object. Heavy, unforgiving. My father tried to speak. Sound failed him. I told my mother the truth. About the money. About the signature. About the years he'd been withdrawing from a son that wasn't his, and resenting the investment. She didn't scream. She looked at him like a stranger wearing her husband's face. I handed her the bank documents. Then I picked up my bag. He reached for me. Missed. My real father is dead, I said calmly. You just buried yourself next to him. Outside, sirens approached. Not for me. I had filed the fraud report 3 days earlier. Everything documented. Everything timed. As I stepped off the porch, I heard the door explode open behind me. Heavy boots. Sharp orders. My mother crying. My father saying my name like it was a currency he could still spend. I didn't turn around. I walked. Not fast. Not slow. Just forward. Some families steal your money. Some steal your identity. Mine tried to own both. Now they own the silence I left behind. And I finally understand. You don't have to raise your voice to end a bloodline. You just have to stop calling it home.